Welcome to CBS 8's Innovate 8 special, sponsored by UC San Diego. I'm Heather Myers, and thank you so much for watching. Over the next half hour, we will show you how San Diego is on the cutting edge of STEAM innovation right now. STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, art, and mathematics. You'll learn about everything from history mapping drones, cancer detecting artificial intelligence, and even an acne curing vaccine. We'll also introduce you to some of San Diego's innovators who are working hard to inspire and educate others. But first, let's meet some San Diego middle schoolers who are getting hands-on experience with changing genetics. UC San Diego's research students are teaching kids at High Tech High all about genome editing. CBS 8's Abby Black shares the impact that this is having on future scientists.
Researchers with UC San Diego's outreach program are teaching students at High Tech High about gene editing, but it's more than just a lesson in chemistry. It's lighting the way for their future in science.
Okay, so what do we see in terms of colonies?
From the naked eye, this petri dish looks like it's filled with little bubbles, but with a closer look under a UV light, it expresses a green fluorescent protein.
But it looks like you got the perfect results. You've got green guys in the targeting one.
High Tech High media art students used this experiment to learn about base editing, where they were tasked to cure the bacteria. This is a concept that paves the way for genome editing research, such as climate-resilient crops or treating human disease at the genetic level.
So even though it's not medicinal based or therapeutic based, it's still the same concepts that we apply to future health-related issues.
Carlos Vasquez is a PhD student at UC San Diego researching genome editing.
I love the concept where we could help all kinds of people, every single person down the road.
He's also helping to lead the Genome Editing Technologies program that does outreach with local high schools. This education partnership also exposes students to scientists with diverse backgrounds.
For me, it's really cool to see the people who are doing it.
Vasquez says having a mentor helped carve his path to becoming a scientist, and he wants to be that for the younger generation.
Yeah, it's really important to get out into our community and start talking to high school students about genome editing because they're the future. This is an important field. There's a lot of ethical questions and concerns moving forward.
This not only makes base editing accessible to high schools, but students like Mateo Espino say this has expanded his critical thinking skills.
It's about how we can edit before the babies are even born, and then also enhancing certain genes. Also how they're working on creating new gene editors, and then learn also about a lot of the ethical factors of that.
This experiment has sparked a conversation that may help these students see a future in being a part of medical, therapeutic, or agricultural breakthroughs.
Right now what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to expand my range of opportunities and my range of interests. So this has definitely helped me with that.
At High Tech High Media Arts for Innovate 8, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Abby, thank you. Well, growing up, we've all had our fair share of pimples or blemishes, but now researchers at UC San Diego say they have developed a vaccine proven to work against acne. CBS 8's Shannon Handy tells us how it works and when you could get it.
The vaccine targets acne inflammation. Researchers here at UCSD say it's groundbreaking because there's no specific treatment of this type available to date.
If you're a teenager or remember those adolescent years, more likely than not, you've had acne. An estimated 70 to 80% of people develop acne at some point in their life, something researchers have long tried to address.
The whole research community, they got really interested. They want to see why some people get acne and some people don't get acne.
Dr. George Liu is a professor and chief of the Division of Pediatric Infectious Diseases at UC San Diego School of Medicine. After more than a decade of research, he and his team have developed a vaccine that offers a glimmer of hope in the fight against acne. Dr. Liu explained it started with breaking down a bacteria we all have on our skin known as C. acne.
We found only certain type of so-called C. acne cause our skin disease. Other almost never do.
Dr. Liu says the reason for that is because within that bacteria is an enzyme which has two strains.
Those bacteria that cause acne only make this one that cause inflammation. And those that do not cause acne, they tend to make those enzymes that are anti-inflammatory.
The newly developed vaccine blocks the one that does, hence reducing inflammation. It's been successfully tested on mice, but has yet to be used on humans. Dr. Liu expects the vaccine could be available to the public within the next 5 to 10 years. Still, he says it won't cure acne altogether, but it is a crucial step in addressing both the physical and mental toll acne can have.
This type of vaccine is going to help probably reduce the severity of these acne. But in order to totally take acne away, it's going to take more than just targeting the bacteria. It probably requires targeting the bacteria, the genetic component, and together, over time, will make a better and better vaccine. I don't see it as a cosmetic product, as something that really helps mental health. And I think it's quite important that all the different biotech companies are getting mobilized to start addressing this in concert.
Shannon Handy, CBS 8.
Shannon, thanks. Still to come here after the break, we will learn more about San Diego's growing community of innovators.
And we want to create a support system for other Latinas so that they can access opportunities.
They need to see role models that look like them.
Learn how some science and technology advocates are hoping to boost diversity. Welcome back. I'm Heather Myers. Right now, a local group of successful Latinas are working to inspire more women to join the tech industry. The National Latina Business Women's Association reports that despite Latinas being 45% of San Diego County's female population, there's a huge disparity locally and nationally. That's because Latinas make up just 2% of San Diego's technology workforce. But the San Diego chapter of Latinas in Tech is hoping to fix this.
And we want to create a support system for other Latinas so that they can access opportunities to, commensurate about some of the challenges that they feel and uplift each other.
To learn more about becoming a member of Latinas in Tech, visit CBS8.com and click on the online version of this story. For the past 3 years, over a dozen female scientists take over the Comic-Con Museum during Comic-Con, hoping to inspire young girls. According to the U.S. Census, women are nearly half of the U.S. workforce, but only 27% are involved in STEM careers. The organization, If Then She Can, aims to empower the next generation of women. CBS 8's Regina Ureta reports.
A different type of superhero women filled a section of the Comic-Con Museum this Sunday. 17 female STEM professionals accepted a mission to inspire young superheroes in training. They encourage young girls to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and math.
STEM means everything to me. And in fact, STEM is how we understand anything about our bodies, nature, or the universe.
Samantha Wins is a conservation biologist. She helped organize the annual event. Wins tells me the event started 3 years ago by the organization She Then that aims to empower the next female generation in STEM workers.
Kids can't see themselves in a role. They can't envision themselves in that role. So they need to see role models that look like them.
According to the U.S. Census, women are nearly half of the U.S. workforce, but only 27% are STEM workers. Hoping to bridge the gender gap in the STEM system, the event provided science activities, informational booths, and panels. Some girls got to participate, saying they're ready to train and become a superhero astronaut.
I want to do aerospace engineering, so my dream is NASA, obviously. I really want to see how far we can go. We're so underrated, and just seeing that chance to look in the screen and be that's someone that looks like me.
While others are hoping to wear a different superhero cape.
What do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a baker.
Each professional with a firm belief that there is no better time to highlight positive and successful female professional role models than during Comic-Con weekend. Regina Ureta, CBS 8.
A local engineer wants to help Black students write their own future. The Sorrento Valley biomedical scientist named Neil Thompson says he felt inspired to write his first book when his 9-year-old nephew asked him a question.
When he asked me why his hair is the way it is, I actually didn't know the answer.
So he started writing a book called Ask Uncle Neil, Why Is My Hair Curly? The The 30-page children's book explores the science behind hair. Thompson says his father encouraged him to be an engineer, but he knows not every kid, especially black students, have the same support. Zippia, an online recruiter site, reports that white men dominate the engineering workforce in America.
I mean, I've been in situations, in fact, most of them, where I was the only black engineer there. But I never let that stop me from doing what I wanted to do, which was the work. I thought if they can do it, there's no reason I couldn't.
Thompson hopes his book will inspire the next generation of black innovators to be curious enough to write their own future. Young women of color are learning about black history on a new level. Drone pilots are using mapping technology to learn more about an often overlooked chapter of San Diego history from the East County. CBS 8's Abby Black shares how a young generation of women are rewriting history.
Efforts are being made to rewrite black history here in San Diego. There's a group of young BIPOC drone pilots that are using technology to become historians.
I'm really into aviation.
Drone pilot Cheyenne Smith is also into learning about her black culture.
Growing up, like being African American, I feel like there's a lot of my history that I don't know. Just because it's not often taught in schools.
Now she's using STEM to write another chapter in black history. She and a group of 16 to 19-year-old BIPOC women known as historians are ambassadors for the San Diego-based nonprofit Our Genetic Legacy Drone Project.
Taking back history that is male-centered, that is also Eurocentric. We're taking back history and just making it our history.
By using LiDAR drones and other geospatial technology, historians are mapping Serenity Ranch, where San Diego County's first black landowner Nathan Harris once lived in the Palomar Mountains, and also Julian Cemetery.
Julian was actually a place where the gold rush was occurring, so there was a lot of slavery over there. I had been taught that California had no slavery.
We know that there were a lot of indigenous peoples. We know that there were, a lot of African Americans. And where do they go? Because we don't see that represented in Julian now in terms of the actual population there.
Shelley Baxter has been a genealogist for 20 years and founded Our Genetic Legacy to help fill the wide gaps in black history.
As you see the commercials from Ancestry and you're just like, oh, I send in the sample, it's going to come back, the lights will dim, the movie will play, and I'll know who I am. And for people of color, it's just not that way because there's so many missing records.
It's hard because, of course, you don't want to hear about your ancestors having to take their last bath before knowing their fate. But it's important.
An important chapter where young black women are going to new heights to rewrite her history.
I get to hear a part of history and really experience and fully immerse myself in a part of history that was almost erased.
For Innovate 8, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Abby, thank you. Still to come, first-generation college students sometimes face an uphill battle to graduate and get a job. But one program at UCSD is giving them a hand right now.
Make sure that this program really is kind of a home away from home where they can get the support they need to be as successful as possible.
Learn all about the Rady School of Management's Business and Economics Mentoring Program and how the dean's own life inspired her to help others. That's next. Right now, the UC San Diego Department of Economics is working with the Rady School of Management to help students from underrepresented backgrounds. I sat down with the dean of the Rady School of Management to learn more about this program and what inspires her to do this work.
This is exciting because we're talking about the Business and Economic Mentoring Program. And for people who might not be familiar with the program, tell us what it's all about.
Well, really what it's all about is to make sure that a broad range of students feel like they belong here in the Rady School.
Tell us a little bit about your background and maybe who mentored you as you were going through the educational process.
So I grew up in Central California, rural schools. I call myself a double first generation. My parents didn't go to high school.
And to think about having parents who did not even have a high school diploma and what you were faced with at that time. And sometimes it takes one or two key figures and they end up being like building blocks along the way. And I'm thinking that that's probably what you're hoping with this program too.
And it's already happening.
I got an email from the director. I like, hey, we're starting this program, kind of come and join us. And I didn't know much about it, but ever since, it's been really valuable to me and my academic and professional journey.
Right now, we have former, students who are, more advanced are being paid as mentors.
Just helping me as a freshman pick out classes and navigate the school system. But then also on the professional side, like creating a resume, a LinkedIn page, a lot of the professional skills that they don't teach in class, but are expected to be successful.
So many people, sometimes look at environments and say, I don't belong there. I don't see people who look like me or who are first generation or low income or women or minority.
Tell me a little bit about when you show up to some of these companies, the Federal Reserve banks, bringing some diversity and some brand new perspective into a business that may have not had a lot of that over the years. What does that feel like for you, and have you been welcomed?
At first, I was nervous to enter into these spaces where a lot of the economists were not from diverse backgrounds.
I wanted a place where we had cohorts and groups of students coming together, getting support, supporting each other, and feeling like they belong.
But to be able to be a part of this new change and this new wave of economists and future leaders is really inspiring and exciting for me.
The students themselves are telling us what they need, so we can make sure that this program really is kind of a home away from home where they can get the support they need to be as successful as possible.
This program's really welcoming to everyone who joins it. It's just a great community where you're introduced to different professors who can support you, different peers that you can work with and that you'll see in your classes.
I want them to know that there is help. You can do this. It's hard work, but if you ask for help and get that help, then you can do much more than maybe the statistics would say that you're able to do. But having grit and hard work will get you there.
For more information about this program, head to CBS8.com. Up next, learn more about how UCSD is using artificial intelligence.
We're asking, dear AI, please bestow me with your wisdom on what this tumor is.
Imagine a doctor asking their phone how to treat a cancer patient. See how this is saving lives. Right now, about 15 local high school students are learning how to use AI to predict health risks. At the Salk Institute of Biological Studies, they are using an artificial intelligence program. It's called SLEEP. Using motion capture film techniques, it finds patterns that predict the progression of an illness.
If we apply the same kind of general approach to animals and other objects of study, that we would probably be able to extract the essential element of motion that are necessary to describe how life itself moves.
Right now, SLEEP is used in hundreds of labs in countries all over the world. Researchers are not only using AI to detect serious illnesses, they're also using AI to cure them. The UC San Diego School of Medicine says they can use AI to better predict when cancer will resist chemotherapy. CBS 8's Abby Black reports on this new biotechnology discovered right here in San Diego.
Imagine a doctor asking their phone what kind of drug they should use to treat a cancer patient. Scientists here at UC San Diego's School of Medicine are using AI to better treat patients.
Cancer is complicated, and so is treating it, but researchers I spoke with today are pioneering a new approach to the deadly disease.
We're asking, dear AI, please bestow me with your wisdom on what this tumor is, how I should treat it, what drugs it will respond to, what drugs it won't respond to.
Dr. Trey Eidecker and his team authored a study published in Cancer Discovery that uses artificial intelligence to predict the best treatment for cancer patients.
Chemotherapy often doesn't work. So the question becomes, when can you safely or at least productively treat with chemo agents of various kinds? And when might you want to consider another route.
Eidecker says currently many doctors are using a one-gene approach, but tumors can have dozens of mutations.
You can't simply, as a human mind, hold 90 genes or 150 genes in your head at one time. You're going to have an intelligent system help you do this.
This AI has identified 90 genes, and researchers are continuing to expand the data by feeding it examples of tumor cells and their mutations in their responses to different chemotherapies, such as cisplatin.
How do you learn to trust these systems? Right? This is, in a sense, a Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. Based on this patient's mutations, I believe she will respond to drug X, but not Y or Z, but I can't tell you why. That's not acceptable.
Eidecker says the AI findings will also explain its reasoning and is confirmed by scientists in research lab. Now, it still needs further regulatory approval, but this could also lead to the development of new drugs and treatments.
It's got to be able to have a conversation and defend itself under a panel of experts.
This type of AI is applied in our daily lives, not only to help doctors better treat patients, but it also may save cancer patients from enduring painful chemo treatments that may not work and give them longer to live.
And why can you better predict what movie she would like tonight on Netflix than what drug she should take?
At UC San Diego, Abby Black, CBS 8.
Abby, thank you. Well, thank you so much for joining us. And if you would like to learn more about any of these stories, you can go to CBS8.com. I'm Heather Myers. See you next time.